man. Thank you for joining me right quick. So it's time to talk about the time I met Dana White. I talked about this before, and goes back in 2005 or six. I gotta see when the Ultimate Fighter Tryouts 5 was there. Um, what year was the Ultimate Fighter Season 5 tryouts in Hollywood, Florida? What year was that?
The Ultimate Fighter Season 5, which premiered in April 2007, held its tryouts in 2006.
Yeah, so 2006 was the tryouts. Okay, so the tryouts was in Hollywood, Florida. Yes, and yours truly was part of the tryouts. And let me tell you, it was awesome. It was awesome. That's me up there. That's me looking younger. That's Dana White, right? Again, that's me. That's Dana White. And what's cool about that is like Dana White was a cool guy, right? So I'm gonna tell you the whole process how it went. All right. Um, so I'm gonna tell you the whole process how it went. First of all, I gotta say Dana White was cool, no doubt about it. Dana White was cool. So what it is, we all got invited. Well, I ain't got invited. There was I think I heard it on the radio or something that or TV. You know what I'm saying? Tryouts being held in Hollywood, Florida. I live in Miami, Florida. So of course I went ahead and tried out. I remember I was working that day also. I think it was on a Friday. I was working that day, so I took time off of work to go try for the UFC. And let me tell you, chat, that was that was so awesome, man. So awesome. I got there in Hollywood, Florida, at the Hard Rock, the old Hard Rock, and there was about 150, 250 people there, I think. It was for the lightweight division, right? It was for lightweight division. Um, and so what it was, I was told that we are gonna get a chance to grapple in front of Dana White and the producers. We also gonna get a chance to gonna get a chance to strike in front of Dana White and the producers. And strike meaning not against each other, but just strike the punching bag or something. So I was there. I was ready. So they told us to go ahead and be prepared. So I had my shorts on ready, my shirt on. I had my cup on. I'm gonna come back to that later because the cup is a very important story, part of the story. I had my cup on, and let me tell you, there was a lot of people there. What's up, Red Hat? What's up, Red Hat? Yes, so meeting Dana White was awesome. So at the tryouts, I tried out for season 5, 2006 was season 5, right? That's where I met Dana White. I fought in front of Dana White. So how it was is it was pretty cool. So when it was my turn to step up, there was like cameras everywhere and one huge mat. Okay, and they picked an opponent for me. All right, and then we had to grapple in front of Dana White and all the producers for Ultimate Fighter show. What's up, Raul D? What's up? What's up? So yeah, so then I was fighting in front of Dana White, and the guy I was grappling. I was better than him, right? So I was winning my fight, and the guy, my opponent, accidentally elbowed me in my groin area. Okay, but at that point I had no cup on. Okay, no, no, I had. I don't speak Bangla. No, I don't. It's English and some Creole. But yeah, so then I fought in front of Dana White, and then so again, as I'm fighting my guy, boom, 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 the guy accidentally hits me, elbows me in a private area, and at that time I didn't have any cup on. Okay, so then I'm hurting. I get him in the armbar, right? I'm on my butt. I get him in the armbar. He's like this. I try to every time I extend, I'm in more pain because he hit me in my groin area. All right. So then after the fight was over, I won the fight, and then the White was like, then the White told me, "Good job, Fitz. Good job, good job." And I asked him, "Hey, let's take a picture. This picture, that's me up there. That's me. That's me in 2006. That's Dana White looking young. That's when Dana White had some hair. You see his face? He has some hair, right, chat? He has some hair. And let me tell you, Dana White was cool. Dana White was cool. Um, there wasn't, very nice guy. I met a lot of fighters there. I met Corey Hill. May he rest in peace. Corey Hill was a 6'4" lightweight. You know, if you get a chance, y'all go ahead and watch the season 5 again, man. That's the season Nate Diaz was on, right? Season so if I had got picked for the Ultimate Fighter show, I probably would have fought Nate Diaz. So I almost fought Nate Diaz, right? Kind of. I could have either been on his team or fought against him or his team, right? So I was this close to fighting Nate Diaz. Also, Joe Lozano was on that season. Manny Gambarian was there. Corey Hill, like I mentioned, um, and some other guy I can't remember his name. But yeah, man, and what's cool about the UFC tryouts was that we all got to take pictures next to the UFC logo, right? So that was the cool part about that, because even though I didn't get picked for the Ultimate Fighter show, I still got a chance to pose in front of the UFC banner, which I gotta I gotta find that video and picture. I gotta see if UFC still has that picture of me like this next to the banner. Cause that'd be a cool, man. That'd be cool to have that. Again, that was for lightweight, and at the time, I'm naturally a featherweight. I fight at 145. All right, I fight at 55 also, but usually 145. So at the time, I was super small, right? And people thought I was fighting at 135 at the tryouts. I was one of the smallest guys there, you know. But I didn't care. I didn't care. There were some big boys there, man. In fact, the UFC management got mad because some of the guys was too big to make 155. So and they were saying, "Why are you here if you know you can't make the weight?" But so yeah, when I fought in front of Dana White, man, it was awesome because there was cameras everywhere. All the fighters surrounding us. Dana White's looking at me. Spike TV looking at me. Everyone looking at me, whatever. You know what I mean? Chat, I did my thing, chat. I did my thing. I did my thing. I was grappling. I was this close, I swept the guy, I took him down. I was this close to submitting him. And it felt good, man. You know, sometimes in life you accomplish certain goals. Even though I didn't make the team, even though I didn't get picked for the Ultimate Fighter show, it was still an honor. It was still a good honor representing myself over there. And I mean, I was there. Hey, I was there all day. I got there at 9 o'clock, and I was like one of the last fighters to fight for him. You know, I was there till like 5 or 6 o'clock. You know, it was the old Hard Rock in Hollywood. I said old Hard Rock because right now, Hard Rock right now is like a big guitar shaped hotel. But back then, it was like a regular hotel type of stuff. And then that's where the tries were at. And man, it was nice, Chad. It was nice. But I said that to say, I trained with a lot of people before. Chad, Chad, check this out. I also trained with look at this, Chad. I also trained with Anderson Silva. Look at this. This is Anderson Silva right here. Wait for it. Look at that. See, that's Anderson Silva. You see, Anderson Silva right there. The spider. And I also got Anderson Silva to act like he's kneeing me. Look at this. Look at this, chat. That's Anderson Silva has me in the clinch. You see that? Anderson Silva has me in the clinch, kneeing me. Well, not actually kneeing me, but pretending to knee me. All right? And chat, you see that? That's Anderson Silva. That's me. Look at this. Look at this. That's me again. So, hold on, bend down. So, that's me. That's Anderson Silva, chat. That's me. That's Anderson Silva. You see what I mean? So I've been around. I've been around. I've been around. A lot of top fighters, um, and like I said, this is me at, at a weigh-in after weigh-in. This is me weighing exactly 145 pounds. Chat. This is me a weigh-in night. One of my fights. You see how skinny I was? That's me making weight at 145. You see? That is crazy, right? That is crazy. I can't think you can fight. I don't think you can fight. You said that's not? Why would I lie about that? Chat. Hold up. Look, this is me and this is Dana White. I don't get. Why would I lie? Thank you. Thank you for the compliment. Yeah. So what would I lie about that? Someone said, "Don't that Rodney says he, he don't think Rodney said he don't think I could fight." Well, I mean, I mean, that's your opinion, but I fought MMA, man, Muay Thai, never been knocked out. In MMA, I took everybody down. No one took me down. In my grappling tournament, I took everybody down. So I think I could fight. You know, I think I could fight. But you know, I fought for a belt. My second MMA fight, I got invited to fight for a belt. Look at me right here. This is me. Chat, look at this. Look at this. My very first fight. That's me punching the guy in the face. I don't know if you can see it. Let me see. It's hard to see, but chat, that's me in the third round, punching the guy in the face. This picture made the front page of the newspaper in Virginia, where I fought at. My fight was the fight of the night. And that was my first fight. I took him down like 8 times, chat. I took him down 8 times. I ain't gonna lie. I beat him up. I beat him up, chat. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, I don't have no reason to lie, okay? Come on now. Come on now. What would I lie for? But if y'all don't believe me, this is me right here, chat, getting ready for the fight. This is me getting ready for one of my fights. You know? I'm focused. I'm focused, man. You know. Look at me, name is Fitzphilogene. My fighting name is Bird of Prey. But that's me getting ready for a fight, chat. You see? Right? I have no reason to it's funny. I have no reason to lie, okay? I train with a lot of UFC fighters. I trained for years with Jason Jackson, who's the Bellator champ, not the PFL champ. I trained with Luis Palomino, who's the bare knuckle champion. I trained with Jorge Masvidal for years. Back in 2008, I think, and 9, I trained with Jorge Masvidal. Yes, I trained with Game Bread before, down here in Miami. Yes, 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 Chad. I don't play around, man. I don't play around now. I'm gonna try to find. Let me see. I got, and for those of y'all, look, my channel has all my videos. Just, just check out my fight videos. It's on this channel. You know. But but let me tell you, man, it was a beautiful thing. It was nice, man. It was. I'm 50 years old now. I don't fight anymore. I don't fight anymore. But but it was definitely a cool experience. I never got knocked out before. Now in training, I got choked to sleep in training though. I'm not gonna lie, chat. In training, I got choked to sleep. All right. Yes, yes, yes. I was training. Jason Jackson. Jason Jackson put me to sleep one time in training. I got caught by anaconda choke the first time I got put to sleep. Yeah, choke. And 3 times I got put to sleep. I never been knocked out though. I never been knocked out. Just slept. Literally slept. But it's all cool, man. It's all cool. But again, look at this picture, y'all chat. This me at weigh-ins. This me at exactly 145 pounds. You see? I walk around. I used to walk around 175 and drop to 145 to fight. So I used to lose 25 pounds or so, or 30 pounds or so to fight. And this is me. This is how I look like when I'm shredded at 145. You know, no fat, a little dehydration. You know. See, my face is very, very My face is very, very. You can say my face is very, very. Drawn in, right? But that's for me losing weight, and especially on the last day before weigh-in. Yeah, man, for real, Rodney, for real. Yes, yes, yes. So this fight was actually a kickboxing fight. So this picture was from the weigh-ins from a kickboxing fight. All right. Um, and my kickboxing fight is also on the channel. You should check it out. Hey, what y'all waiting for, man? Y'all special like button and subscribe, man. Come join this community. But losing weight like this, man, it's a science because You got to do it the right way. And I think I mastered how to lose weight the right way. All right. So I'm also, just so you know, by the way, I don't fight anymore, but I am an acupuncture physician. So I actually help people lose weight the right way, believe it or not. And because of my training in MMA and Muay Thai, I know how to do weight loss properly, you know, what I'm saying, safely. So if you want to lose weight, if you want to lose weight the proper way, let me know. All right, let me know. Let me know. Let me know. You know what I mean? But let me tell you, man, fighting fighting is fighting takes a lot of work, a lot of training, but also takes focus, right? And confidence. You, you gotta be confident in yourself, all right? Stepping into the cage, I love stepping into the cage. I love stepping into the ring. Once that cage door closes, I'm like, yeah, good. He's all mine now. My mind changes. You know, I'm a nice guy. Outside the cage, I'm a nice guy here and there. I'm cool, whatever. But once in the cage, my mind's focused now. I'm focused on my opponent because at that moment, he's trying to take my head off, so I gotta take his head off. All right. So that's how I get when I fight in the cage. You know, outside the cage, I'm cool. I dap you up. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? But once I'm in fight mode, once I walk down that aisle, look at this, Chad. Look at this. Look how focused I look. Look how focused I look right before the fight. Look at this. Look at this. Hold up. Let me find it. Let me find it. Hold up. Where's it at? Look how focused I look, Chad, right before the fight. You gonna see a picture of me. I'm gonna look so focused before the fight. You're gonna be like, whoa, look at this, Chad. Look at this. You see how focused I am? This is this is my last fight actually up in Virginia. You see how focused I was? You know, eyes closed. I'm just, thinking, boom, 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 boom. And that fight, this is the fight when the guy hit me back of the head 18 times illegally. You know what I mean? Which I'm still mad about that. Hey, just in case I forget, please y'all don't forget to subscribe, and like the video. Come on, show some love. But yeah, this is me getting ready for the fight. This is me and Edison Silva. Edison Silva. And people say I look like him, just a smaller version. But that's Edison Silva. That's me right there. All right. This is Edison Silva knee me in the face. Well, not really knee me. I told him to knee me in the face for a picture. All right. So this is months after he fought Rich Franklin the first time, and how he broke how he broke Rich Franklin's nose with the knees. So that's why I told him, hey, just knee me in the face right quick. You know, just pretend though. It wasn't for real. So yeah, that's Edison Silva, chat, right there. The real Edison Silva. It's crazy, right? Who'd have thunk it? Who'd have thunk it that I'll be, that's pretty that's pretty amazing, all right? Um, this is Edison Silva and Antonio Nogueira, Big Nog, okay? That's me in the middle. That's me in the middle. This is this is me in the third round of my very first fight in Virginia. This picture was in the front page of the newspaper up in Virginia. My fight, there was 15 fights that night, and my fight was fight of the night. This was my very first fight in 2007. There was 15 fights that night, and my fight was fight of the night. You know, I got interviewed. I got, the cameras in my face after my first fight. You see that? That's me punching him in the face. You know? That's me punching him in the face, chat. And I'm gonna tell you about this fight. So because it was my first fight, I was I wasn't nervous. I was a little nervous, but yes, I was nervous, you could say, but I told myself, you know what? If anything, take him down, take him down, take him down, because I was like, man, and what I did was I took him down. He got back up, I took him down. He got back up, I took him down, because that's the only thing. Because I was going off of just memory at that point, to be honest, you know, because man, I'm gonna tell you, this is me right here. Look at me, chat. I'm focused. Look at that. I'm focused, chat. Look at that. See how so this is the weigh-in. Again, see how my face is sunk in? That dehydration right there from me losing water weight. to weigh in. So losing weight is very, very critical because you got to do it the right way. Please, you got to do it the right way because don't people should losing weight has to be done properly because you could hurt yourself. You really could hurt yourself, chat. You really can. I also got a picture with me and Horace Gracie. Yeah, chat. I've been I've been around, man. I've been around. I'm not gonna lie. Um, the amount of people I train with, the list goes on and on, man. The list goes on and on. Again, I trained with Jorge Masvidal back in 2009 and 10. I used to train with Jorge Masvidal for years. Um, very cool guy. I ain't gonna lie. Very cool, very, very cool, but tough though. He was tough. I ain't gonna lie, he was tough. Hey, chat. I love this picture, man. I love this picture because this was my very first fight, man. And let me tell you, fighting in front of thousands of people like that is it was truly amazing. It was truly amazing, And in Virginia, everyone was so nice in Virginia. It was so nice. And just just looking back at this, I'm like, man, the good old days. The good old days where, well, again, I'm 51 years old. Next month I'm turning 52. So I don't fight anymore. Right? I don't fight anymore. I don't think people in the 50s should be fighting. you know, I still get the I used to get the urge all the time to fight, but now I'm content. So I'm officially retired, Chad. I'm officially retired fighter. Um, I never got knocked out before. I never really got dazed in a fight. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. When the guy hit me back of the head illegally, that's when I got dazed in my last fight. But other than that, as far from a punch, I never got rocked in a punch before. What's funny is that my last fight, the guy hit me in the jaw, and then after the fight, I was wondering why my jaw was so sore. But then I realized, oh, I got hit there. So I said to say, during the fight, you really don't feel that much pain. Now leg kicks you're gonna feel leg kicks for sure. You know what I mean? You're gonna feel leg kicks during the fight. But as far as like punches, also body shots, you do feel some body shots during the fight. If I feel, a good body shot will knock the air out of you, or a liver shot would just drop you, you know. And thank God I never got a liver shot before. You see me, you know, I'm a pretty skinny fighter, so I can't afford to get the body shot, you know. And you see, Dana White had hair back then, right? So Dana White had some hair back then, and so did I. So did I, but my hair started receding a little bit back then too. At this age, I was how old was I? 16. I was um I was 31, 32 at that age. Yeah, I was like 31, 32 over here, and now I'm 51, 52. Right? But even back then, my hair started receding a little bit, you know. But yeah, Chad. So you notice how small I was, right? It looked behind me of the other fighters, they were bigger than me. Dana White was bigger than me. But like I said, Dana White was cool though. Dana White was cool. I'm not gonna lie. He was very cool, very very nice. I would say this about Dana White. Dana White and the Fertitta brothers did a wonderful job making the UFC what it is today. He definitely worked hard. I think he should. I do think he should pay the fighters more. But other than that, I think Dana White, did a great job with the UFC. I really think so. You know, and it just sucks that I didn't get picked for the Ultimate Fighter show. You know, I, I wanted to get picked for the show, but I didn't get picked. Chat. It is what it is. It is what it is. I kind of wish I did though, man, because that would have been amazing, man. I would have been either on the same team as Nate Diaz, or I would have been fighting Nate Diaz, or at least fighting his team. Can you imagine chat? Imagine if I actually fought Nate Diaz in the UFC. Can you imagine how would that be? Cause say, oh yeah, oh chat, look what I found. This is the article I'll tell you about. This is the article of me in Winchester, Virginia. This is me in the front page of the newspaper. You see, front page. I made front page in my very first fight. I made front page of the newspaper in Virginia of me punching the guy in the face. You see that? See, I told you I knew I'd find the article. I made 5 copies of this article. I made 5 copies. You know, that's me right there. And like I said, I, I told myself, I'm gonna take him down. I'm gonna take him down. I'm gonna take him down. But yeah, you can see if you look real close, it's it says my name. Fitzphilogene pound CRS in the face. But yeah, and let me tell you, man, it was fun, man. It was fun. And in this fight, I never got hit. In fact, most of my fights, I never got hit. In fact, now that I think about it, I think only one of my fights actually got hit. Every other cage fight I had, I took everybody down. I'm trying to think. My first fight, I never got hit. Second fight, I never got hit. Third fight, I never got hit. Fourth fight, I never got hit. Wow. So I had 5 fights before. In 4 of my fights, I never got hit. Right? Never got hit. In my fifth fight, I got hit one. I got hit. My fifth fight, I got hit. But most of the hits were illegal though. But in 4 of my fights, I never got hit at all. Wow. I never thought about it that way. Hmm. That's crazy, huh, chat? In 4 of my fights, I never got hit. Wow. But yeah, so that's because I took everybody down, right? This is me, front page of the newspaper, my very first fight back in 2007. That's me punching the guy in the face in the third round. I mean, his guard. And the whole fight, I was just taking him down and just ground and pound. I'm not gonna lie, he was tough. He was tough guy. He was very tough guy because I had full mount. I had side control. I had this and that. I was ground and pounding him. Boom, 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 boom. And he never quit. He never quit. You know? So hats off to him. I'm not gonna lie, hats off to him. He was definitely doing his thing. Doing his thing. But yeah, chat. First very first fight. There was, this night there was 15 fights this night. There was 15 fights, but my fight made front page of the newspaper. I'm gonna say it again. There was 15 fights on this night in '07, September '07, September 15, 2007. But my fight was chosen to be the fight of the night. My fight was chosen to be the front page of the newspaper up in Virginia, Winchester, Virginia. All right. Let me tell you, it was definitely an honor. So after this fight, you know, I'm from Miami, so I flew to Virginia. I fought. I flew back to Miami, and a week later, my homeboy from Virginia calls me and said, "Yeah, Fitz, I made front page of the newspaper." And then like a month later, the promoter for this company called me and asked me, "Do I want to fight for the belt?" I said, "Of course I do." So on my second fight ever MMA fight, I fought for a championship at 145. It didn't go the way I wanted to go. Yeah, Chad. I'm not gonna lie. I got submitted in the first round, triangle choke. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I'm honest with y'all. I got submitted quickly by a triangle choke. You know, but it happens. It happens. And then I fought. You know, my next few fights. My next 2 fights was in, Brown, Florida. But yeah, man. But imagine for your first fight, right? Imagine you're a fighter. You train, and your very first fight, you make the newspaper, front page of the newspaper. Imagine how cool that is, right? Say it again. I will say it again. Imagine you are a fighter, and for your very first fight, your fight was so awesome that it made front page of the newspaper, where you punching the guy in the face. That's pretty cool. You have to admit, that that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? Dana Meth. No, no. What up, Sam? No, no. Yeah, but yeah. So that's pretty cool, chat. Yeah, me in this fight. Look at this chat. I made front page in the newspaper. It's crazy, front page. And and that fight, man. I just that fight. Chat. I'm not gonna lie, chat. This fight, I just went off instincts mostly because it was my first fight. Let me tell you something. So this fight was on a Saturday night, right? So Friday night, I was nervous. First fight, I'm in the hotel, nervous. I became calm when I told myself, you know what? I told myself, you know what? If anything, I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. I'm a wrestler guy. I told myself, if anything, just wrestle into jiu-jitsu, you know? And once I told myself that, that's when I just calmed down and I was ready to fight, you know? So I was, I was proud of myself. I'm not gonna lie. I was definitely proud of myself because, I accomplished something that face it, a lot of people don't do. You know, what percentage of let's see what percentage of men does cage fighting around the world. Let's see. Hold up. What what percentage of men does MMA in the world? Okay, so okay, look at this chat. So worldwide, there's way less than 1% of the men on Earth that does MMA. Way less. So it's probably like 0.5% of men that actually does MMA. You know, so I'm in a group of men where it's not even 1% of us. Right. I say that to say that it takes a lot of heart to go into a cage. It takes a lot of skill, dedication, determination, but also heart, right? Again, it says it right here. What's it? Yeah, it says exactly. Yeah, it says that well under 1% of people actually does MMA, men. So for those of y'all who's joining in, especially like me, right here, right? I made front page of the newspaper. My very first cage fight, I made front page of the newspaper. Talk about cool, right? Talk about cool, you know? And let me tell you, it was fun. This me and my opponent name is CR Hess, and I just took him down like 100 times in the fight. I took him down a lot, Chad. I'm not gonna lie. I took him down a lot because it was my first fight. I just went off of instincts, Chad. Because this fight was my first fight, I just went off instinct, right? And my fight made front page of the newspaper. That's think about that. I'm still like amazed about that. My fight made front page of the newspaper. There was 15 fights that night. My fight was fight of the night. You know, my fight was fight of the night. Wow, I felt so good. I felt so good because I didn't know. I got a call from my homeboy in Virginia a week later, and he told me that my fight made front page of the newspaper. I said, "What?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Oh my gosh, oh my lord." I didn't expect that. I knew I fought well. I mean, I took the guy down like 6 times, and I'm not. Hey, Chad, I grind and pound him hard. I mean, pause. I I grind him. I mean, he took some punches. I'm not gonna lie. You know what's funny? True story. True story. So first fight, right? I took him down. I mounted him. In chat, true story. As I'm punching him in the face for the first time, I felt kind of bad. I actually as I'm punching him, I told myself, why am I punching him? He's a nice guy. I told myself that. It's crazy. During the fight, my very first fight, I'm punching the guy in the face and I'm feeling bad. It's a weird feeling punching another human being in the face. It's a weird feeling, because that's a human being, you know? It was the weirdest feeling, chat. I'm not gonna lie. I had him in the mount. I was punching him in the face. I mean, I was punching him in the face, blasting him in the face. And I felt kind of bad for a minute there. I told myself, why am I punching him in the face? He a nice guy. I mean, what are we doing here? You know? And I bet you, if you ask most, if you ask all the fighters, I think most of them will say the same thing. If you ask most of the fighters how they felt the very first fight, punches somebody in the face, I think they say the same thing like me. At first it's gonna feel weird because it's not contrary to what you may think. It's not normal. It's not normal punching people in the face. It's not a normal thing. You know, it's not an everyday thing. So when you punch somebody for the first time in the face in a fight, especially in MMA fight, boxing is one thing. Boxing you're moving around, but in MMA fight you up close and personal. I had him full mount and I was blasting, punching him in the face. And as I'm punching him, I'm like, why am I doing this? He's a nice guy. I mean, what are we doing here? Yeah, so that was interesting, man. So Chad, let me tell you, that was an experience that is hard to explain unless you do it yourself, right? And while you're in the cage, you're looking across the cage and you seeing this guy who's a trained killer, who's a trained martial artist, coming to take my head off, right? You get into this flight and fight. You get into this fight or flight mode, right? You get into the mode where you're kind of like survival mode at that point because it's either him or you, right? And chances are you don't want it to be you, you know. But again, it all comes down to training, training, training. If you train properly and you're confident, put it like this way. It's like taking a test for an exam, right? If you study for an exam, if you study hard, then come exam time, you should be less anxious, right? Same goes for fighting. If you train hard enough and train confident enough, come fight night, you should be kind of calm. You know what I'm saying? You should be like, you know what? I could do this. And that's true. You can do it, you know? But I guess what I'm saying is, when it comes, I reached one of my goals. I have many goals in life, and that was one of my goals is to be a cage fighter, and I was a cage fighter. Another goal was to be a Muay Thai fighter, and I was a Muay Thai fighter. Another goal was to be a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighter, and I was. And now I'm an acupuncture physician. So if I could do it, y'all can reach your goals too. That's my point. If I could reach my goals, y'all can reach your goals also. Look at me, front page of the newspaper. Who would have thought that? Who would have thought in my very first fight I would have made such a big impression on the fans over there, on the media over there, on the other fighters. The fighters in Virginia love me because I'm tough. I mean, because I'm a tough fighter. I never say no to a fight. You know. Hey y'all, smash the like button. Chat, smash the like button. Yeah, because I'm a tough fighter. I never say no to a fight. I'm very respectful. But like I told you, once I go into the cage, once the cage door locks, I tell myself, he's all mine now. Once that cage door locks, chat, oh my gosh, that's when the switch turns in my head. Boom, boom, boom. That's when I said, it's time to work. It is so much fun. It's so much fun looking at my opponent across the cage. I don't get nervous at all, chat. It's weird. I don't know why. I don't get that nervous. Before my fight, I don't get that nervous, chat. I don't. I'm not trying to act like I'm this tough guy. I mean, I'm a tough guy, but I'm not trying to act like I'm a Superman or anything. But before my fights, I never got nervous. It was the weirdest thing, you know? Maybe a little bit. If it's like 1 to 10, maybe like a 1 on the nervous scale. Maybe a 2 on the nervous scale. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm just saying I never got nervous like that. Maybe I should have got nervous because sometimes if you have the right amount of nervous, you actually have more energy for a fight. I think George St. Pierre says he got nervous all the time. So looking back at it, I probably should have got more nervous. But for some reason, I never got really nervous before a fight. Because I know I train hard. That's why. I know. And Chad, I train hard for my fight, Chad. I spar a lot. I train hard, man. So because I knew I trained hard for each fight, well, not each fight, I ain't gonna lie. My third fight, I didn't train that hard. In fact, my third fight, I didn't train for 6 months, and and then took a fight. I know it was crazy, Chad. It was crazy. But yeah, man, thank you for joining me, man. Appreciate y'all. Thank you for thanks for showing us the love. Yeah, man. But I just want to show y'all, back in the days how it was. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, Chad, it's again, this is me at weigh-ins again. You know what I mean? I want to show y'all my fight again. I mean, me and Dana White, for those of y'all who didn't see it yet, this is me and Dana White at the Ultimate Fighter tryouts. It was fun. It was fun. It was entertaining. I met a lot of cool people there. Corey Hill, I met Corey Hill. May he rest in peace. Corey Hill was a 6'4" lightweight. Cool guy, man. Cool guy. And I told Corey Hill, watch they pick you because of your height. And sure enough, he got picked, man. But chat, again, Dana White was a cool guy. Again, for those of y'all, for those of y'all who just joining me, this is me at age 31, 32. I'm 51 right now. This is me, this is me in 2006. I tried out for the UFC Ultimate Fighter show. And that's Dana White, the president of the UFC. That's me. That's Dana White. All right? Um, I met Dana White. I fought in front of Dana White. This was for the reality show. I fought in front of him and all the producers of the show. I won my fight. Yay! I won my fight. Um, but I didn't get picked. Boom, boom, boom. I should have got picked though. I should have got picked, chat. I'm not gonna lie. I should have got picked. But then again, ironically, when I tried out for the Ultimate Fighter show, believe it or not, I was training for years, but I never had a fight yet. So I think that's why I didn't get picked. I fought. My first fight came after I try out for this show, so that's why most likely I didn't get picked. Yeah, chat. Looking back at it now, what for this picture in 2006, my first fight was 2007. This was at 2006. So at this point in my career, I didn't have any fights yet. I was just training for years. And on the application, they asked you how many fights you had and blah, blah, blah. So I said zero. So I think that's part of the reason why I didn't get picked for the show, Ultimate Fighter show, tough show, right? That's why I think. I mean, I want to, I would like to think that, but I guess I wasn't ready, back then. But I'm gonna tell you something though. I'm gonna tell you something. You know, to be honest, if I was in the UFC, right, I would be fighting at 145 pounds. And I'm not saying I would have been a champion here and there, but what I would say is that I would have gave every opponent a hard time. You know, I'm not gonna say, hey, I would have been undefeated. I'm not saying all that, but I would have said, it's gonna be hard for some people to keep up with me because I had great stamina back then. I had great stamina. Um, I had great wrestling, decent. I had decent jiu-jitsu. So sometimes I think about me being in the UFC, how it was gonna be if I was actually in the UFC. I would have been in the featherweight. That means I would have fought guys like I would have been in the same weight class as Jose Aldo at the beginning, Ricardo Lamas, um, um, Jeremy Stevens, no, he didn't. Max Holloway. I would have been in the same weight class as Max Holloway. Who else? T City Ortega. Um, what's that guy? Um, uh, what what what's that Mexican fighter who does all those kicks? I forgot his name. But the featherweight is a tough division, man. The 145 division is a tough division, man. So I don't know how I would have failed there. Cause there's a lot of tough guys in the UFC that's in the featherweight division. A lot of tough guys. So I don't know how I would have. I don't know how that would have turned out, Chad. I'm not gonna lie to you. If I was in the UFC in the featherweight division, you know, I can't tell you how many fights I would have won or lost. But one thing I would tell you that each fighter I fought, they would have known that they've been in the fight because I would have brought it to them. I would I would have probably out wrestled a lot of people, to be honest. I I would have out wrestled a lot of people, I think. yeah, I mean, UFC does have some good wrestlers though. I'm not gonna lie. UFC has the good wrestlers. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. But I guess, I guess we'll never know, right? I guess we'll never know because UFC didn't pick me. Dana White, you didn't pick me. It's your fault, right, Dana White? I'm mad at you. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I ain't mad at him, man. I'm just glad that he gave me the opportunity to try out. Um, yeah, it was definitely a great experience trying out. Great experience. Have fun. I met cool people in there, and yeah, chat. So I want to tell you, man, it's just you know, oh boy, I tell you, man. But y'all show so much love. I appreciate y'all, chat. I think I gotta get going now. I gotta go to sleep, man. I gotta go to work tomorrow. All right. Thank you for joining me in the chat. I appreciate y'all. Smash the like button, and then I'll see y'all next time. All right. Peace.